another YouTube video. So today I am filming a video that I'm hoping will inspire a lot of you and also encourage others to help take up this movement. So in case you didn't know, we are currently in the middle of a climate crisis. So essentially global warming and climate change is really having a massive effect on the earth as we know it, and it's only going to continue to get worse if we don't do something about it. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about climate change, but the biggest thing that I noticed was that a lot of people don't seem to know how to make a difference themselves, and a lot of people also don't seem to realise that it's actually really easy to make some small differences in your own everyday life that can have a dramatic impact on the environment. So I decided to come up with a list of 10 reusable items that you can use in your everyday life to help save the planet. So let's get into it. So the first item I have, this one is probably one that most people would probably already own one of these, and that is the reusable drink bottle. So pretty much plastic water bottles are really bad. Buying bottled water, like the plastic is just extremely bad for the environment, and if you can get a reusable bottle like this one or this one here, basically you can buy one bottle and it will replace like hundreds, even thousands of plastic water bottles that you would buy perhaps on an everyday basis. So if you can buy one of these, you can fill them up like at home, take it to work or to school, wherever you're going, to your sports training, anything like that. And then often a lot of places these days also have like drink fountains and clean drinking water taps that you can fill up your water bottles with while you're out on the go, so you don't have to constantly go buy a new water bottle. So if you can, make sure you get one of these reusable water bottles. You can get them at like almost any supermarket, a lot of other small retailers and stuff as well. You can get reusable water bottles, and you can get some really super cheap ones, and it's a really easy way to reduce the use of plastic water bottles. The second thing is something that is not as common. They're definitely coming into popularity, but they're definitely something that I feel is a little bit inconvenient for a lot of people, and I have to admit that I will often forget to bring these with me, and that is the reusable stainless steel straws. So I actually have a fair few different ones, and essentially plastic straws, especially I'm not sure about other countries, but I know in Australia that we've actually banned plastic straws, but they are still around a lot at the moment because like they can't be produced or manufactured or sold in supermarkets even, but you can get them but I'm pretty sure you can get them, like a lot of cafes and stuff, if they still have the plastic straws, they still give them away. Anyway, so I would recommend that you invest in one of these metal straws. So basically it's a metal straw essentially. It's stainless steel, they're reusable, you can take them, you can use them at home even, if you want to have, a glass of lemonade, a milkshake, whatever. But you also, the biggest thing is you need to take these with you. So when you go to get your Boost juice or your Macca's drink, ask for no straw and make sure that you bring your reusable straw with you so that you can put it in your drink. I know that Boost juice, I'm going to use Boost juice as an example. So I know that they have now got paper straws on offer. And while that's a great idea, paper, is biodegradable and all that, they're not great for the Boost juices. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I grabbed the paper straw, put it in my Boost juice, and it went soggy, and then I couldn't actually suck up my Boost juice, and it was just messy, it was gross, and I actually ended up not being able to drink half of my drink through a straw because the straw had got like too wet and it had clogged up and it wouldn't work. You can get different sizes of these straws. So these are the big sizes, and I've also got some small sizes here, so if you can kind of see the comparison in the holes. So like these are great for like just your soft drink, anything like that. But if you're having stuff like boost juice, smoothies, milkshakes, I would recommend the thicker straws. They also now do sell boba tea straws, so when you're going to get, you know, your bubble tea, you can get thick ones that you can actually suck the bubbles up, so then you don't have to get the plastic straws again. And in terms of cleaning them, so they all come with, usually when you get them, they'll come with this little brush, if it ever decides to focus. So they come with this little brush, which is kind of like a pipe cleaner, and basically that goes inside, and that's how you can clean out, get all the gunk and stuff out, especially like when you're having smoothies and stuff. That's really important to do that, to give them a nice good clean out. In terms of where you can get them, I know that they're definitely growing in popularity. I'm not sure though that you can find them at all like just your local supermarkets, but have a look anyway if they don't have them. There's one particular company that I really like, and that is SoundCloud, and I'm actually a brand ambassador for SoundCloud. So I got my very first reusable straw from SoundCloud, and they're fairly reasonable in price, and they have now come out with a whole bunch of different colours and stuff. I've just got the standard silver one, and it's got the logo on it somewhere. I don't know, actually I don't know if you can see that, but it does have the SoundCloud logo on it. And SoundCloud is also a really good cause where I think, I'm not sure of the percentage, but I know that they definitely are big supporters on marine life and ocean conservation. So I will leave a link to the SoundCloud website down below. Please check them out. They also have some really great recycled t-shirts and towels and stuff, so definitely check them out. So the third thing on my list is something that I think a lot of people probably have in their household already, but probably fail to use as much as they should, and that is reusable lunch containers. Now in terms of reusable lunch containers, there's like a bajillion, trillion lunch containers, and they've been around for ages. It's not a new concept to have reusable lunch containers. However, I don't think people use them as often as they should. And there are also the variety of uses. Like I know I'll give you an example. So first thing is this is just a nice standard big lunch container. This one's really good to put your dinners in, like if you want to any like cooked meals, you can put leftovers in these containers, which I know is something that's really common. But also like I like to put my salads in these containers and take them to school, or if I'm going to heat something up, like if I'm at work and I want to heat something up, you know, if you've got a work microwave, these are microwave safe, you can just heat something up in these. These are really big. These have a lot of uses, obviously, but the other things as well, that's something that probably gets, a lot of people do use these containers for what they should be used for. However, there's a lot of other alternative containers that you can use in replace of like Ziploc bags and cling wrap, or even just like single small individual packaging. So one of the big ones is the sandwich box. So this is a little sandwich lunchbox container. So this is, instead of putting my sandwich in a Ziploc bag or wrapping it with cling wrap, I will put my sandwich in one of these and take it to school with me. You can also put other stuff in these as well. Like, don't think just because it's a sandwich container that you have to put sandwiches in it. You can put a variety of different, you can put crackers, chips, you can put fruit in there. Like, you can use these for anything. That's what the great thing about these containers is. One of the other things in terms of fruit is that you can also get, there's a lot of other places that you can, like if you want to cut up an apple or have some blueberries, strawberries, instead of using a Ziploc bag, this is my favourite container to use, and this one's a much smaller one, which you can fill up with, again, you could put cherry tomatoes, you could put cheese, or even a small salad if you wanted a snack size salad. a piece of cake or anything really, you can use that. And this one, what I love about it is that it has a little slot which you can put your fork in, which is really, really handy. Two other things that I think are really big, and I know that this is something that I definitely need to work on, is yogurt. So if you don't already know, I love yogurt, and I tend to just go and get like the Chobani or the YoPro, like the individual serving tubs. What I'm going to try, I say try because I love yogurt a lot, but I'm going to try to move towards buying big bulk containers, you know, like a 1 litre of yogurt or like 500 mils of yogurt, and then spooning it up into smaller containers. So this is when I do, and then putting like yogurt into a little container like this, instead of having, you know, 20 individual yogurt packets, just having one big container which can be recycled, and that will hopefully reduce the waste that I create with all my yogurt eating. But also this is also a really good snack pot if you want to put like nuts, seeds, dried fruit, anything like that. Even like a couple, if you're taking lollies or something, put some lollies in here. And it's also really good for portion controlling as well, if that's important. One of the other ones that I want to highlight is that there's a lot of different innovative containers that you can get. Ones that kind of can be used for different things, and probably things that you might not have thought of. So I'm going to use this container as an example because this is one I use a lot, and it's this little thing here. I'm not really sure what you'd call this, but basically if I open it up inside, it's got 2 separate compartments, and the great thing about this one is it actually comes with this little knife thing. So the way that I mainly use this is I will fill this bit up with crackers and put cheese or dip in particular into this little one. So then I can have my cracker and I can either dip it or spread the dip on my cracker, or I can get a piece of cheese, put it on there, that sort of thing. And that's a kind of a change in sort of, instead of, you know how you can buy, I know definitely for like school snacks you can buy like the little pre-packaged crackers and cheese, or crackers that you dip into the cheese, like the little snacks. And this is definitely a very good reusable alternative to that, something that you might not have ever thought of. So there's a lot of other all different shapes and sizes and different uses that you can get when it comes to reusable containers that you can use for your lunches and your snacks, and stuff like that. So number 4 on my list is something that kind of ties in with the reusable lunch container, something that definitely is good for when you're out eating, and like when you're taking food to school and stuff, and that is the reusable cutlery. So I actually went out and bought this little thing. I actually got this from like a little Japanese, like a Daiso or a 100 yen shop, whatever you want to call it. And reusable cutlery, basically, instead of me bringing like a plastic fork to school with my salad, or even, especially when eating out as well, when you go to like get, Macca's isn't really a good example, but when you go to get a salad or you want to go get chicken curry or anything like that, they often just give you a plastic fork or a plastic spoon. Instead you can ask for no cutlery and you can bring your own, so you can get these little reusable forks, spoons, and I also have a pair of chopsticks, which is really great going out for sushi, Chinese, anything like that. And again, they can just be re-washed, reused millions of times, and that can cut down on a huge amount of waste that is created by plastic cutlery. Number 5 on my list is something that I actually haven't got yet, but it's something that I have seen when scrolling through social media and stuff, and an idea and a concept that I think is really good, and that is reusable pouches. So I'll put a photo up here. So these reusable pouches are basically like the little squeezy things that you have for yogurt, but also they often come up for baby food or like any like apple puree, that sort of thing. And I think the biggest one for me is, again, with the yogurt, I would like to invest in getting one of these reusable pouches to take to school, and then I can just have my yogurt on the go without creating as much waste as I currently am. Number 6 on my list is these things that my mum actually came across, and I'm not entirely sure where she got these from, which kind of makes it hard, but it's called Cover Blubber. There's a lot of other different names and variations of these things, but it's this little thing, and you're probably like, what is this? But basically this is like a stretchy, is it like silicone? I'm gonna say it's silicone, this like stretchy silicone thing, and it actually goes over the top of, it basically replaces like cling wrap essentially. So I know this one's a bigger one, but they also come in a range of different sizes. So this would go over a bowl. If I had a small bowl, which I had some leftovers from dinner, I can just stretch this over. It goes all over, it stops all the germs and bacteria from getting in, and it also, yeah, no waste, no plastic. The other thing that we use these for is over the dog tin or cat food, pet food tins. Often they're not like single-use tins, so I'll give, you know, my dog her dinner and then put this over the top of the thing and put it in the fridge so that it doesn't, you know, get all gross and stuff. There's a whole variety of different sizes and that you can get of these. Like you can get big ones to go over like big salad bowls and stuff. There's also we also have really small ones that go over the end of like a cucumber or like a sauce bottle or something like that. So these definitely reduce the use of cling wrap, which is really, really bad for the environment. Number 7 is something that again my mom came across, and I think it was a really smart idea that I kind of never thought of before, and that is of so you know when you go to like the grocery store and you go to get your apples or your carrots and stuff, and there's always those like plastic bags that you then put your vegetables and stuff in before then they weigh it and then you take it home. You can, I know that there's plenty of people that don't actually use those plastic bags and they'll just like take the actual apples and get them weighed, but I feel like, you know, when you've got like 10 apples like we often get for a week, you don't want to be carrying 10 apples, you know, it's just a lot of effort. And also to keep them fresh or for storage to keep them together, keeping them in the fridge or the pantry. And that is, instead of, the replacement for that is to get one of these mesh bags. Now these ones actually been used, and Mum's actually gone and got some loose green beans and put them in these mesh bags. So this is an alternative for the some green beans. This is an alternative for those plastic bags that you use at the grocery store. So if you take these anytime you're going to get apples, loose like fruit and vegetables, which you should be getting over pre-packaged packs of, you know, instead of getting a pack of 8 apples, go and get 8 loose apples and use one of these, and you can really reduce the single-use plastic. The next thing is something that, again, I have yet to buy myself, but something that I actually saw when I was in St Kilda, so over in Victoria. I was in St Kilda walking down a strip of like markets, and I came across this market stall which was selling reusable beeswax sandwich wraps. So again, I will put a photo up here, but basically these sandwich wraps again reduce the use of cling wrap and plastic bags, because these are all single-use plastic that we use so much in our everyday lives. So basically these are again for your sandwiches. You can wrap it up in one of these. It's kind of similar to cling wrap, it doesn't take up as much room as what my reusable container would. However, yeah, so again, reusable, can be washed, and it was also biodegradable. So if you do, you know, ruin it or decide not to use it, it's a natural thing it's not gonna create any harmful toxins or anything, and it will go back into the environment. So so number 9 on my list is the reusable coffee cup. So this is another one that isn't really a new thing. It's something that's definitely been around for a while, but people don't use it as often as they could or should. So I actually have one here. This one is from Starbucks, and I got it from Tokyo. But basically, use this, and there's the thing of where you make yourself a coffee in the morning and then you can take it to go, like you can make it at home. But the other thing that I think people really need to start getting into the habit too is if you're going to your local cafe, instead of just getting a coffee cup, ask them to fill up your mug with this. And a majority of cafes and places that you go to now will fill up your reusable coffee mug. And I know actually a lot of them offer discount to you if you bring your own coffee mug. Like you'll get like a 10% discount or something like that for basically saving the environment. So you can actually save even more money and save the environment if you bring a reusable coffee cup mug. And the last thing is, this one is again not a new concept, but something that people definitely should be looking to invest in and start using on a regular basis, is a reusable tote bag. So I have one here. I just got a new one actually, and it is yellow, of course. So this is a tote bag. I believe it's made, I'm not actually sure what it's made of, but I know a lot of these are made out of recyclable materials. And this actually was $2. I got this from Cotton On, but there's also many stores, many designs, varieties that you can get, and very cheap. Like I said, $2 to get this tote bag. And you can use it again when you like grocery shopping. You can put your groceries in there, but also like I find clothes shopping and stuff that they always just give you a plastic bag. Instead, you know, say no, it's okay, I've got my own bag. Give them your tote bag, and you can definitely save on the plastic bags and stuff, which again helps save the environment. So hopefully you guys have found some of these items that you may not have heard of or you may not have thought to use, and I really encourage you to go out and purchase some of these items. And I know you might be like, oh, that's going to cost me money, but a lot of these things, they're not extremely expensive, and it's a huge investment. You can actually save a lot of money, especially like things like the water bottles. The amount of money that people spend on plastic water bottles is insane. If you just buy one bottle, you know, like a $10 water bottle, it can save you like hundreds of dollars in the long-term future. But all of these things are really great ways that you can make a small impact in your own everyday life, and you can help save the environment. Please make sure to like, comment and share this with your friends. I really want to be able to start a conversation about climate change and the fact that we can actually do something about it. And I know it seems small, but if millions and millions of people start doing, you know, using reusable items, they can make a huge difference on the current climate change situation. So thank you all for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!